looking at how can we create real-time design options with our clients, how to improve that process. So throughout this research project, our mission has been trying to look at how can we make this a more collaborative process with our clients. We're trying to also create a look and feel within the design. How can it improve in the process? And how can we make it more immersive for our clients so they can really feel and sense the scale of the space in the VR environment? Then more importantly, how can we create multiple experiences in one space? If you've ever been on a cruise ship, you go to a restaurant, you have to eat in the same restaurant for 5 times, same time. And so we're looking at how can you make that space interesting and unique every day? How can it be a different experience when we're looking at immersive dining? So we're rethinking the cruise ship. Look at this sketch. Let it sink in here. We are looking at trying to challenge the norm. Not only are we looking at boxes, we're also looking at structure within the cruise ship. We're not just looking at deck after deck after deck. We're trying to look how can we think at it vertically, how can we rethink the structure, and we create more exciting F&B experiences. So coming your way, Mayor.
Just be careful with the structure.
Yeah. Just letting you know,
well,
we're challenging
very
it. We're thinking vertically, and we're thinking about how can we create more exciting venues. I'll go a little bit quick because I know we've got a lot to go through. So let's think immersive dining here, okay? So we're looking at within a space, imagine you had 4 walls that were completely digital screens, and that you also had AR projections on your table. We've all seen examples of the Petit Chef and things where you can have activated tabletops. We're thinking, let's create a completely immersive environment, and let's go magical, really. So imagine one day you get to dine, eat sushi in a Japanese magical garden, and you're surrounded around Japanese temples. And then the next day you get to go on a space fairy tale and go travel in space. And then the next day you get to go to a warehouse speakeasy and eat steak and eat in a completely industrial warehouse environment, all within the same space, especially on a cruise ship where space is limited. So this is what we've been exploring, and this is what we've been developing. So through this, we started to think what could be some interesting shapes in beyond a square box. So we're like, let's look at geometry. Let's look at domes. Let's look at triangles. Let's go vertical. Let's think of using every surface as a possible space to create a unique experience. So this is what we came up with to start for our pilot, was create a really cool entrance experience where instead of just a boring corridor, you could walk through a triangular space that was fully digital. Both on your floor, you could be walking on water, and say this today was the Space Odyssey, and you're walking through space and you get to feel as if you're traveling through space. Then we had this idea of every part of your meal could be a different room. So instead of just being in one room, you have various different rooms. And so for your aperitif, after you arrive, you get to have an aperitif, and it would be in this massive dome, and the dome would also be digital, and you get to sit. We thought mechanical robotic arm bartender would be appropriate for this type of environment, even though we know it's been applied in the cruise ship environment for a long time, but we just thought it would be appropriate in this context. And really trying to look at how you can make an interesting environment for your aperitif. And then after that, you would go to your appetizer in the chef kitchen and experience putting your own appetizer together in the second stage of your meal, and then so on and so forth. Your restaurant for your main, and then you would go to a bar for your dessert. So keeping the experience completely unique within the cruise ship environment. So then we go into the design aspect. So using this tool in the VR, in the Metaverse, to be able to create real-time design changes in a lighter environment. So we know that we have very heavy, big programs that we typically use, like ArchiCAD, where we can create a 3D environment for our client and show them these items. But say we want to bring this into the Metaverse and bring this into VR and have remote people dial in a lighter environment. How can we do this? So we're looking at building and applying into the Unity environment ways that we can be able to change the design. So if you're having a design review with your client, you could then log in and say, okay, this is the space. How would you like to see the mood changes? And be able to experience and feel what those mood changes would be. Being able to change, say, the lighting colors, being able to change the fabric colors. So we created a screen here where you could then change the fabric colors, you could change the lighting, you could change the screens and the digital environment, what you're looking at. So bringing that into the metaverse and being able to have those kind of real-time design changes with your client to help make that design process more efficient, try to create less revisions, makes the whole process, I think, more engaging and gets the client sign off, hopefully in a faster way. So how do we use this in the real world? How is it actually applicable? Where can we actually use this? I'm always like, I don't want to go on this year-long journey and realize, can we actually even apply this in real life? I'm a bit practical that way. So we could easily apply this in concept phase to be able to show design intent with the client. We can definitely use this during final design sign-off to be able to walk through the client. Every major client now wants to see this in 3D, wants to see this, how is this going to be experienced? And so now they can truly experience it within the metaverse environment. And then I think also in change management, then you can compare the digital twin with, say, your LiDAR scans and your change management, which our colleague Yuha is going to be going through later, but what they're developing with the cloud point. So then, what are the benefits? As we said, improved client satisfaction with real-time design options. They want to see different ideas. Obviously, we're going to save time and we're going to reduce costs in the process, making our design more efficient. And then, of course, driving innovation. So we want to always be challenging, and clients now are coming to us. They want us to be bold. They want us to think, go bigger, especially with AI now, with Midjourney, they can create these fantastic images. Clients are now thinking bigger. They're thinking, what can we actually do? Go bold. So I think with being able to go into a 3D environment quicker and more efficient, we can start to push innovation in the design world. So what's next for us? Down the line over the next year, what are we going to be exploring? So we want to continue to add more functionalities into this movie. So we have functions like adding the dimensioning, adding in the scaling, overlaying 2D drawings and being able to toggle back and forth. We're going to be testing this with industry professionals, not just students, so we can see the difference between how professionals react in this VR environment. We're going to continue our mood changes and how we can continue to improve the F&B experience, especially within cruise ship environment. This is what our clients are asking us for. And then we're also now looking at the exciting ideas of integrating technologies, as we all know, is going so fast. Just within this project, within the last year, technology has frog leaped. So we're looking at how can we integrate AI into the 3D modeling process, which we're now exploring with our partners. So this is a little video. Do I just press the button again to get it to play?
Yes.
So this was a little demonstration. Many of you, I think, have seen this video, but for those who haven't, this was a little demonstration of how the 3D model environment works.
Really nice video, by the way. How did you do this?
This was another seminar that we were at. This was a really cool. I have this amazing, I think it was 25-foot curved screen, and we are going to have really interesting demonstration for you. Or for this seminar. Here they have the user walking through the space, being able to interact with the environment.
better than when we were developing the icon. We had to actually build one screen which was 80 times 20 meters in order to show the customer real scale some of the features of the vessel. So this is maybe just a bit cheaper than that.
Yeah.
But actually, question lies there that we had actually recently inside this Necoverse, we had a study, and we have sent one researcher to Miami and interview the customers and so on. And what came out was that the cruise customers, they want to have authentic, how I describe it, new authentic experiences. And that is really challenging because the authentic means something for us. So
Yeah.
they want to go, Venice, which is authentic, and
Yeah.
they want to go Barcelona. But what would be new and authentic? That's
Yeah.
my question.
It's new and authentic. It's creating a real sense of space in your environment, creating a sense of belonging and feeling like you're blending the shore, right? Especially with cruise ship, you want to experience Venice, but then how do you experience Venice in the cruise ship as well? And how do you have an authentic experience in the cruise ship?
It's really
And
tough.
this is as designers, especially something that's what I did my thesis on actually, is how as a designer you're given a white box and they say make it feel like home. How do you do that? And so if you want to know, you can call me. I'll let you know my little secrets.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's all about creating a sense of place.
True.
And-
But
and
the
what are
authentic,
those
and
moments?
how do
Yeah.
you feel that? I mean, Venice is authentic, but how you copy it so that it's authentic, or how to create something really new which is not seen before and still authentic.
And still feeling like it could be new, but a new environment, and feel like they've come away with something, that they've had a new experience. So I fully agree with you, and that's definitely nice to hear that is still required.
Always, I guess.
Great.
Okay, next we have Juha.
Yeah, let's see. Well, yeah, that's it.
So,
Okay, hello. Nice to be here. I'm Juha Saarinen from Turku University of Applied Sciences, and I work in Vika's Future Interactive Technologies school. And as you can see, this is PDF because I did totally Linux work. And I'm afraid of PowerPoint because they were based on Windows machines. So hopefully everything works, and also for the same reasons, if there is time for a video, it's totally separate file because that is how I work. Okay, I'm here to talk about the same user case 2 that Stefani was just mentioning, but other demo from there. And my interest here is more in the point clouds. We will get into that, but the project itself is, or the user use case there is about this. So collaborative VR environment, and for talking, collaborate around the challenges in changes when building ships. Nice word there is change management. So when something is different than in plans, you need to react to that. And I've been told that will cost a ton if you don't catch it early. And there are things that you cannot predict beforehand. So you need to catch it. And in worst case scenarios, those, let's not call those errors, but changes might go similarly to the next chip and next chip after that. So there need to be a platform to be more discussive and do things in that. So this is what we try to build here. So a way to visualize structures, because it's about building, construction. In that meeting, how you mark out point of interests. Here is something wrong, or this is nice, let's continue with that. And after marking those, how you discuss, how you share the thoughts with others in the same space. And of course, you need to somehow get the data after the meeting, so you are able to continue with that. Ways to visualize layers, ways to visualize structures. We will use here kind of two things. So we have the plan, the original plan from the designer or the architect. That's 3D mesh, so it's 3D model. On top of that, on the construction side, there will be laser scanners that scans the environment, and those are really accurate. And we can get the current state in the environment through point clouds. Then there is that part that is not highlighted. I will go later why. But of course, with the point clouds, if you have right type of scanner, you will get also colors, so you get also visual from that space. More interested thing is measuring. It says like the wall should be here, but now the point clouds say that it's here. And there are ways to record the distance from the planet surface into the point itself. So every point could have like distance from the surface. And that way we can add other type of knowledge into the points besides the colors. But because we are talking about point clouds, we are talking about millions of points. Usually when in the pipeline, when somebody goes into the construction site and make a scan of the environment, there could be like hundreds of millions of points. And that's all. It's a gigabytes of data. And now what we are trying to do, we try to get that information into VR system where you need to render everything separate for class. So we need to be able to reduce, optimize the point clouds in a way that is usable. We are currently around 50 million points on VR. And there are, I divided it into two categories, so we can reduce the point cloud based on distance. So when something is far away, those are not important for you, so let's say because the point amount in that. And the other thing is computer power. So when your system is lagging, we can automatically reduce the point cloud, so you are again on working side. Because one issue with the VR classes is that if something falls, you start to even feel sick, you will fall because it's so immersive that you need to be in the space. So you need to have frame rates that gives you the immersive that you need, and that's a crucial thing to have so that your visuals are, so you feel and see the same thing. Well, those are kind of how we optimize the system, and then other thing that is important, how we could get all the necessary points for the discussion in the space. And one way could be this bounding box system. So you reduce the part of the point cloud that you really want to consider in. Because if you have 250 million points and they are all over the place, all the text on the sheet, but you are just talking about this or here, you could change 2 minutes over. Okay, so that's how you optimize the thing. In a video short, you will see how you can mark out points. So you have kind of a phone, you can take snapshot, speed notes on that, in speed to text recognition. And then you can go to an area, raise a screen, and you can discuss with others about the point of interest that you make, and something that is not in the video but at the end of the meeting. All those notes are in PDF document. And these are the next steps. So we need to get into the situation that we can get the data, read the data in runtime. Currently everything is put at the start, and that's not way to do it. We need to get those bounding boxes and other ways to control the data, to have a user interface to play with the data. And then those last ideas are how about if we get wireframes added in there, so there is kind of transparency option. 3D model like photos like Tato mentioned this ocean splatting, that would be cool to have those integrated in the VR environment. So it's not just window, but it's in the space that you can hold there, and maybe even hand-based notes on the point. But yeah, that was rushing through, and then let's try if the video works. There are no sound, so I can explain on the place. So this is the launch, and there you see the screen. The video will get in there at the end. So first someone need to create the meeting, give it a name, and others can then join into the same meeting. Then everybody gets this device. It's currently like phone, so that was the thought process there, that it would be familiar. You don't need to explain that much. And in the phone you will have 3 buttons currently, or button for every layer that you have there. And you can toggle on and off those layers. But because you are in the same VR environment, you will toggle it to everybody. So when you add the point cloud on, it will be visible to everyone. So in here, those are points in the cloud. In that cloud that you see there is total like 60 million points, but it's reduced by the distance. And then you can take snapshots, and it's basically the rendered view, so you can also other people there if needed, and you can record text on that speech. And those notes will be shared everybody in the same meeting. So you can run those through, and then there is this space where you can share your thoughts with others with bigger screen at the back. So yes, that's basically also the video. Okay.
Here you go.